If you are a female runner over the age of 45 and you feel like you've tried everything, stay with me because what I'm about to say might sound confronting at first. Most running advice stops working for you long before your body does. And that gap is where frustration lives. I want you to think for a moment. Have you ever looked at your training and thought, I'm doing all the right things, so why does this still feel hard? Not injured, you're not broken, you're just tired. Heavy, flat. If that's you, then this video is for you. Over the last few years, I've watched hundreds of female runners over the age of 45 test every popular running method out there. Some of them followed the plans perfectly. Some were incredibly disciplined. Some were doing more than enough. And yet, progress slowed. So I decided to stop guessing and start observing patterns to see what actually helps female runners over the age of 45 improve, and what quietly holds them back, even when it looks correct. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what actually works. Not theory, not trends, not what sounds impressive. What holds up in real bodies, real lives, and real hormonal landscapes. And I'll show you why some methods fail you even when you do them perfectly. Before we go further, I want to say this clearly. If running feels harder than it used to, that is not a character flaw. And it does not mean that your best running days are behind you. It means that something is out of sync. So let's start where most women start, running more. A female I worked with had been running for over 20 years. She was really consistent, really reliable, never missing days or weeks. But every year her pace slipped a little bit more. She kept thinking, well, that obviously means I just need to push harder. So she tightened on her easy runs and just added more and more mileage and filled every gap where she could. On paper, it looked committed. In her body, it probably felt good at first, but then it began to feel exhausting and things fell apart. And here's what was really happening. Her training never dipped low enough for recovery to maximize. And after 45, recovery is not optional. Running more didn't fix her pace. It slowly drained it. What helped wasn't less commitment, it was space. Space between stress, space for rebuilding. And that was the first pattern that I saw again and again. More running is not the solution when recovery is the limiter. Then we tested the opposite, running less. This surprised a lot of female runners. They cut mileage, they dropped days, they expected to feel fresher, and some did, but many felt stiff, disconnected and flat. And here's why. While running is about fitness, it's more about rhythm, coordination, timing, and efficiency. And when there's too much gap between runs, the body loses that rhythm. So running less without intention didn't restore energy, it removed consistency. What worked was not running less, it was right-sized running. A little like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. She had to taste all three porridges to find which one was just right. A little something like that. Enough frequency to keep the movement smooth. Enough rest to let adaptation happen. Not extremes, but balance. Then came low heart rate running. Now this one needs a bit of nuance. Low heart rate training can be very powerful, but I watched many female runners over 45 slow down so much that running stopped feeling natural. They felt awkward, unconfident, and disconnected from their bodies. The problem wasn't easy running. It was what was missing around it. Easy running should feel calm, not fragile. When easy running is done without stamina, without occasional faster movement, the system forgets how to move efficiently. What worked was using easy running as a base, not a boundary. Easy days are kept truly easy, but paired with moments that remind the body how to move with intent. And that leads to intensity. Speed sessions, intervals, tempo work. Some runners avoided them completely, and others leaned into them because they missed that fast feeling. And both of those extremes backfired. Too much intensity overwhelmed recovery, and too little dulled coordination. Here's the simple science. Speed is not just about fitness. It's about access. Your brain's ability to call on the strength and fitness you already have. For female runners over 45, that signal gets noisy faster, and when fatigue is high. What worked was short, controlled intensity, done when the body was actually ready. Not often, not forced, and not when you are exhausted. Just enough to keep that signal clear. And if this is starting to sound familiar, pause for a second. This is usually where most realize something important. They weren't doing the wrong things. They were doing the right things at the wrong time. This is also a good moment to subscribe to this channel. Not because you need more tips, but because this is about helping female runners over 45 stop blaming themselves and start training in a way that actually works. Now, let's talk about strength. This one caused the most confusion. Some runners avoided it because they were already tired. Others overdid it because they wanted to feel strong again, and neither of those worked well. Here's the shift that changed everything. Strength is not about pushing harder. It's about lowering the cost of running. When your muscles and your tendons can handle load, each step that you take costs less energy. And that's why women feel lighter at the same pace. Not necessarily fitter, just more supported. 2 to 3 short sessions a week. Simple movements, some lifting, some focused running-specific injury prevention work. Enough recovery and nothing fancy. Then there was fueling. This is often overlooked. Many female runners over 45 eat well, or what they consider to be well, but they don't eat strategically. They train low, they refuel late or not at all, constantly trying to cut calories and then wonder why motivation dips. When energy availability is low, the nervous system becomes protective. You feel flat, you feel heavy, you feel unmotivated. And so the fix wasn't eating more all the time. It was eating on purpose and in and around your training. Fuel beforehand. Fuel during your runs if your runs are longer than 60 minutes, and refuel after. That alone changed how loads of female runners felt on their runs. And then recovery. This is where everything is tied together. The ones who improved weren't tougher. They were better at sending their nervous system signals of safety. Consistent, good quality sleep. Calm movement, less rushing, intentional pauses. Recovery is not passive, it's a communication. And when that system feels safe, adaptation speeds up. So after testing everything, here's the truth. What works for female runners over 45 is not a method, it's alignment. Enough running to maintain rhythm, enough rest to rebuild. Easy days that actually unload. Small doses of intensity that sharpen. Strength that supports movement. Fueling that keeps energy available. Recovery that is respected. No extremes, no heroics. If this helped clarify things for you, we also run a free webinar for female runners over 45 that shows how to put this into a real week. You'll find the link below or by scanning the QR code. Now here's the part most don't expect. Even when training is aligned, many runners still feel stuck because of beliefs they've carried for years. That's exactly what I unpack in the next video. Watch that next, because often the thing holding you back isn't your body, it's what no one ever told you.